Welcome to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly. Now we have an exciting show today. We will be doing an astrological chart reading for a special guest we have in the studio today. Welcome, Bella, to the studio.
My pleasure.
Is this the first time you've been on radio?
Technically, no.
Okay, you'll be fine. Now, Bella, I understand you're from China.
Mm-hmm.
Now, historically, look, the astrology we're doing comes from China. It's thousands of years old. It comes from Taoism. So it's very steeped in the astrology, and like I say, every lunar new year, I guess the whole world knows what animal sign it is. It is so because now it's spreading across the world and it's gaining more and more recognition. Though I have to ask, and I guess in a lot of around Asia, it's very popular, prevalent, and I guess Hong Kong is almost the epicenter of astrology readings and feng shui masters. So what about in China?
I think it's quite common in China as well.
Yeah, being the birthplace of where it all came from, I think you kind of like would expect it would be so big there though, but is it?
Well, it really depends.
Yeah.
Like for me, I barely did it before.
Yeah.
But I know some people is really into it, and then they'll do it. And then I guess this is quite similar to the palm reading, fortune teller.
Okay. So
yeah.
fortune tellers, what they do the face reading.
Face reading. Also, they'll get your birth date, place as well, based on the lunar calendar.
Yeah, because it's very much a lunar there. I mean, which calendar is used there? Is it both?
Like daily normal like things
For everyday.
yeah, everyday things. It's
yeah.
like solar calendar, like
Yeah, okay.
what is going on like
the
here
Gregorian,
as well.
Gregorian
But when
everywhere.
it comes to lunar calendar, will be more for example, Chinese New Year is based on the lunar calendar.
Traditional events and so forth.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
and
fortune
like-
teller will based on your lunar calendar as well.
They're like the autumn festival as well.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, of course, though. Is it a regular thing? Look, as you probably know, like historically, whenever couples in China got married, they would go to I wouldn't say astrologer check out if they're a compatible match before they married. That's what they have always been done, and I guess that's why anyone that gets married or wants to check in terms of relationship compatibility, I'd always say to check it using Chinese word. I like to know it as Taoist astrology because that's where it came from Taoism, and because it's always been used for that, I think that's the best for it. So do they still do that in China?
I guess some people still do it.
Before they get married? Is it the older that insists on it?
Yeah, older generation, 100%. Like, for example, my grandma or my aunties, they're probably still doing it.
Yeah.
But for our generation, as far as I know, not too many.
Yeah.
But I think it become a trend because based on the lunar calendar, starting from 2024, they're going to be a new cycle.
Yeah, new period, yeah.
Which is called the ninth period and the period of fire.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would like to, get a little bit of reading and what's gonna happen, so that make themselves psychologically or mentally prepared.
More prepared because if they know what's coming, then you get to prepare for it.
Yes, I guess so.
So you're from China. So how long have you been here?
I've been here for almost 10 years.
Oh,
How time flies.
Time flies. So how do you find it? A big difference?
I guess I'm quite adaptable. I fit in very well, but of course there are a lot of different differences between Australia and China, Western culture and the Chinese traditional culture as well.
Yeah,
I was brought up in a very traditional way, so I still define myself very traditional Chinese with traditional Chinese values.
Yeah, and those values, of course, if people don't know already, it's very conservative values. generally conservative out here. So
100%.
yeah, and this is something people don't realize, that if anything Eastern is conservative, and I guess the further east you go, the more conservative it gets. So you've got East European, okay, they're white but they're conservative. Then we've got Middle East, more conservative. Then you've got the Far East, okay, and they're all conservative. And some things that are common, but there are certain things like different ways of being conservative as well.
Yeah, different ways. Everyone's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, did you you're married? I understand you're married. Is that why you moved to Australia?
No. I came to Australia just for my master's degree. Actually, I did 2 master's degree because I was teaching. I was working education area back in China already, and I came here for my master of education research and another master for teaching second trainer as well, so that I'll be able to back then. Further my whole career because everything's set up there. And just things happen.
You met someone.
Met someone, yeah. And then, all right, I decided, okay, family comes first. And then, I can give up my career over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess a lot of modern families out there would be, one surprise that you'll be willing to, I guess a lot of working women were surprised you were willing to give that up. And secondly, if, I know a lot of people are cash strapped that they can't afford to have only one breadwinner. So how does that work?
No, I mean, give up my career back overseas in China because clearly long distancing is not good for healthy relationships. So I have to be the one compromise, I guess. So, but either way, it's when it comes to bread winning, does not necessarily mean I will not contribute. Instead, I am supporting my husband, and then now we are business partners. We're not only, life partner, we're business partners as well. So for us, it's more like a teamwork. So I give up the career back in China, but we set up a new career here.
Okay, so, and that is running
the vegan business together.
Okay, look, first of all, when you said it wasn't option, you had to be the one to move there. Obviously, our listeners, especially ladies out there, would be wondering why couldn't he move over, give up his life for you?
That's a very good question.
Why wasn't that an option? I'm saying I'm just smelling out what people would obviously be thinking.
Yep, no. Actually, I really wanted to go back, and then I really tried to persuade him, but he get a legit reason. He couldn't speak Mandarin, and I can speak English, although my English get an accent. But it seems a lot easier for me to survive here. But anyway, I don't know.
Was it a matter of having children that you thought it was better for them to grow up here than in China? Could that have been a factor?
No, I don't think so. I grew up in China, and then I pretty much pride myself on the educations and the living environment, everything. So both way works. So anyway, but as maybe this is how I was brought up. So when it comes to family, I can sacrifice.
You can sacrifice, sacrifice for the good of overall. I guess the unit and the team matters more than the individual.
100%. Yeah. And then we can always go back if that's time or doesn't remember. We can travel back. Yeah. Not really a big issue for me.
Yeah. So I think one big thing is sacrifice. I mean, so was that your aim to work together?
Yep.
Okay. Be really hard because I think a lot of couples out there that do work together, tear their hair out and say, we can't work together.
That's normal for us too. So, we are a team, but in the meantime, we are individuals as well. 100%. We have different values. We have when it comes to value, maybe the way of work, but we have different strengths. So. Such different strength bring us, united us as a strong team. 100% we had a lot, moments of, really want to tear
Fighting.
each other, fighting, tearing each other's hair, but just all for the good of business. And then we survived it and we come out stronger.
And you didn't want to say, like a lot of people say, throw in the towel, that's it, I'm done.
100 many times. And
okay.
And that's just emotion. And then we gradually, I think, both me and my husband learned to be emotion zero when it comes to dealing with business.
You put your business hat on, so to speak, and be more very rational. When it comes
have to be very rational because we learn our lesson hard way. If you put too much emotions, you cannot work together, and this business will not benefit. So we have to work very rationally.
So
together.
You might have some self-sacrifice and self-adjustment for the better.
100%.
Okay.
100%. So, but at the end of the day, it's a good way. So we make each other better and higher and stronger.
Well, that's interesting. You see, a lot of, I guess, when I looked at a lot of couples have the problem is they don't actually share a life. Yeah. I guess when I come to a lot of people, when they ask what's a marriage, you'd be surprised when they get stumped as to answer what is a marriage. Yeah, you can answer it with a legal term. That's easy. Okay. but what does it really mean? And they get flustered and And I guess a lot of people, they only pick their partners based on they like them. So yeah, I like to hang around with them all the time, and that's it. But then they end up living essentially separate lives. And I think the problem is people don't, what I can see in the West, that people don't understand it's actually a partnership in life. And by that, I mean, I've been having people disagree that, no, it's not a partnership because a partnership means equal rights and responsibilities, where they don't actually understand it because what one does affects the other.
100%. I agree with the partnership and also teamwork.
Teamwork.
Always a teamwork.
You have a mutual goal that you work towards.
100%, and also share the same value, even if it's not 100% same, but have to be similar. To make sure you're on the same page and then going towards the same direction.
What about all those people out there that normally say, or even the relationship counselors, they say, you can work anything provided you're willing to put the work in. You have different values, still not a problem. You can still understand each other and give way to each other. Do you
maybe some people can do it. I don't know.
But a lot of people, looking at it, practical point of view, I can't see that different values really work.
For us, maybe it's, I don't know, like for the other couples, like I always believe every individual is different, every couple is different. For us, I think before we get the stamps on, sign the marriage certificate, we make sure we have similar values and then we are on the same page. And then, that's what matters really most, because like maybe when I see my parents and they always have the same values and then one lead another and another take the lead, so it doesn't really matter. All matters is like whether you are family oriented and especially because life is ups and downs. You cannot just live in such good times. What's the testing point is bad times. If bad times is the best time to test your values.
Values and if you were to abandon your partner during that time. Yeah,
100%. Or simple is like how you deal with such issue or difficulties, and then that will show whether this relationship going to last longer or, can be tested.
Yeah. Now, Bella, what business do you actually do?
We are running a vegan restaurant in Cabramatta, so we are local. And actually, it's Loving Heart Cabramatta, just 100 meters off the police station.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be easy. Fine. I guess the police station stands out everywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's totally vegan. I mean, any specific cuisine? Well, I can guess pretty much because it's in Cabramatta.
Yeah, it's Vietnamese vegan. So 100% pure vegan, no onion, no garlic, no dairy, no egg.
Okay,
we're so proud of ourselves.
We're vegan. But for those that don't understand about why no onion and garlic, can you explain that?
Yeah, because, when it's more like a religious and meditation affecting or influence. Because for some Buddhism and Hinduism, they believe the onion and garlic will affect the meditation.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
For some specific genres of religion, like Jainism from Hinduism, so they don't even eat root vegetables such as carrot or potato, because they believe all of such vegetables affect their meditation as well.
Is it about killing the plant then? Is that the play?
It's
about not eating
when it
vegetables?
comes to killing, it's like dairy, egg.
Yeah.
Like they believe it's killing, but when it comes to root vegetables like onion, garlic, and then potato, they believe that will affect the meditation.
Oh, I see. That sounds even a lot more strict.
Yeah.
A lot of people have problems trying to do vegetarian, let alone vegan, and even this Jainism is even stricter.
Very strict. But
very
for us,
dedicated.
that's why for us, because we've been there for almost 16 years. In 2024, we're gonna turn into 16 years.
Yeah.
That's why gradually we adapt all our recipe into no onion, no garlic, so that make sure the most strict vegans can dine in every day at our place. Yeah.
They don't have to worry and so forth.
Worry free. Welcome home.
Welcome home. I guess then it's considered fine for all religions.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
not only people with a religious purpose, but just the young generations who are really into vegan food.
I guess if there's not much bread, then it'll be good for those that are gluten intolerant.
100% gluten-free choices.
Gluten-free, lots of gluten-free choices.
We do have, yes.
Just that's vegan.
Yes.
Okay, being in Cabramatta, I understand there are lots of other vegetarian restaurants around.
Yes, a lot.
Well, what makes you a point of difference?
I guess one also very important thing is we make everything in our restaurant.
Oh,
including the sauces, every single
really?
bit. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then also we use the best ingredients, best produce. Some of the produce are organic, and you can it's mummy grow from the back of the garden.
Okay.
100%. And then every week we make sure our produce are fresh. So when you use the best produce, best ingredients, best seasoning, and then 100% our products popped up.
Yeah, okay, because I've been in your restaurant, and I have to say I was mighty impressed.
Thank you.
For a lot of people that are also not aware, you do vegan interpretations of meat dishes, traditional meat dishes as well?
Yes, we do. But we try to reduce the mock meat use.
Oh, okay.
But in the meantime, we try to use more of the produce and the mushroom, and then we use our own recipe. We twist a little bit so that we make sure the balance of nutrition and taste. That's probably why we last here for so long, and then turned into 16 years and survived COVID, the business economic downturn.
Yeah,
we're quite proud of ourselves on doing the right thing.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses have closed since COVID, and it's affected them.
Unfortunately.
And I guess now whatever survived is survival of the fittest.
I know the cost of living really high.
Yeah.
A lot of people is asking how come you can keep up such high quality food. I was like, because that's our belief.
Yeah.
We are here to promote veganism for all the religious people and non-religious people who love vegan food. So we're not here to increase the pricing, but we just want to make sure everything's is right.
Yeah, but you
keep up with the quality.
You still need to cover costs as well.
100%.
So things are unavoidable.
Yeah.
So I have to say, some of the dishes I tried, I mean, it tasted so much like the regular meat dishes, what I can remember. So I guess for someone that's not a vegan, I think they would enjoy it as well.
100%. We are having more customers who are actually not vegan, or who trying to be on a vegetarian diet once or twice every month.
Yeah.
And then they love the food, and they were like constantly asking, "Are
coming
you
back.
sure this is vegan?" I say, "Yeah."
Are you sure this is not meat?
Yeah.
It tastes so much like it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have a something that tastes like KFC as well.
Yeah, that's the vegan fried chicken,
chicken,
with
yeah.
no chicken, Yeah, we twisted a little bit of, the vegan protein with our special recipe and then a special made sauce in our Loving Heart restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because that was tasty, they say, and
You love it. Thank
yeah,
you.
I loved it. And I think though since COVID, there's been a lot of concerns around hygiene, as you said. We've been through a pandemic, now even more so. So and that's a sort of thing that you've taken on to allay customers' fears.
For us, never, because we've been always treating our restaurant like our home.
Yeah.
I cannot say it's spotless,
Yeah.
but 100% it's very, very clean and very hygienic. Like
Yeah.
even before COVID, we've already starting like using hand sanitizer and putting hand sanitizer on each table. So this is our habit, because like my daughter eat in the restaurant, my parents and my husband and me eat in the restaurant, so all our staff eating in the restaurant, and they love eating in the restaurant, so it's more like home for us. So our cleanness is not a problem for us.
Okay. Though one thing I have to say I liked was that you had booths as well as the normal tables.
Yeah, you were sitting on there.
Yeah. And when I sit in there, I feel so like I get we feel more privacy. It's kind of like you have your own space.
Yeah. That booth actually was handmade by my husband. So the
Really?
angle, that's why you're sitting there and then like laying back is so comfortable, because he used to be an engineer and he just like designed the angle, the specific angle, but I forgot how many degrees, so that like make people sitting there feel comfortable and then dining in. So like what I said, we treat our restaurant like our home. So we want everyone come to our restaurant eating like come back to home to eat.
Yeah. Okay. And any other areas, or was that just the main restaurant?
Next time, I would highly recommend you guys sitting in the back, the back
you got a
garden
back
area.
area?
Yes, we built last Christmas,
Yeah.
and then I handmade a lot plants pots, and then the table was handmade by my husband as well. I call it a loving garden. So in the back of Loving Heart. I love it. Yeah.
Sounds romantic.
We put a lot of efforts and then creativity, I guess. So you check it out. And
You know what? And Valentine's Day is coming up as well. So that place with a loving maybe good idea for a first date or a date.
100%. Last Valentine's Day, we did a very romantic Valentine's Day theme in the back garden, and then everyone loves it. But you have to book in first because it's way too popular.
Okay, so listeners, keep that in mind for Valentine's Day. Yeah. So talking about Valentine's Day and love and so forth. Did you and your husband have, before you got married, had your astro charts checked for compatibility?
No.
No. You just knew.
Well, I didn't do that because I'm here, and also we've been testing. I mean, we've been through a lot ups and downs, and then went through a lot of hardships before we walk into marriage. So that's why we're pretty much sure we are the one for each other.
You mentioned that you and your husband did not check your charts before you married, but it was based on a lot of intuition and experience. What about the elders? Did they have the say?
I don't really think so.
Did they push you? Did anyone suggest you get a reading first?
Not really.
No?
No.
Did they both put more than their 2 cents in about opinions on whether or not you should be marrying? Like I know a lot of Chinese parents, Asian and especially Chinese parents,
I understand.
get involved in their partners, in their children's partner selections.
Yeah. Maybe because I was brought up in a way like being very independent. And I feel very fortunate that my mom trusts my judgment and then give me whole freedom. So that's why the minute I tell them we're going to get married, and mom's like, as long as you think that's the right decision, go for it.
Wow.
That's your life.
Really that is actually quite different.
Very different.
So in terms of Chinese culture, that's a different rather than they really put their hand in.
I know.
So that's common for parents to really put their hands in.
Maybe for younger generation, not anymore. But I know for back to parents' age, 100%.
Okay. So were you here on your own, and they were back in China?
Yes.
Was that maybe that was a factor?
Maybe that's another reason too, because too far.
Yeah, they weren't so able to.
Yeah, too far to doing investigations.
So okay, but now you've decided to have a reading, and I can see that it's actually quite interesting, and you went with your gut feeling. Was it just your gut feeling that he was going to be that he's it, that he's correct, or did you analyze and notice that things he did that were appropriate and gave the right flags, the right green flags?
I think more the latter. So it's not only gut feeling, 100%. No. You can't just put your gut feeling into, but yes, gut feeling, like you have to, like when it comes, it comes. When the right person comes, it comes. Yeah, 100%. But also you'll know, like, depends on things as well, like how he deal with things, especially when hard times comes, and then
can he cope?
Yes.
Can he cope? Can he solve difficult issues, difficult problems?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think that's what, as women, because we have a lot less testosterone than men, we rely on men, I guess, to be able to deal with a difficult situation. And I think when it's not actually explicitly said, but in Chinese culture, what do they say? Measure of a man. What is a man? How is a man, if it determines what a man is? In Western culture, I can't really see it, other than it's just he's got big muscles. That's a masculine. But in Irish culture, it's more like, can he deal with difficult issues, make the difficult decisions, pull his family through the hardships, get them through. Do you agree with more of that assessment? Well, what is a man? Who's more man?
I guess it's there are different standards. You can't just like judge like different man like using the same standard. But I'm just talking about me. Like personally, I would be like, what he really touched me is because he said he want to retire his mum. That's why I decided to stay, to took over the business together with him to retire his mum. Because I was brought up in a very good family environment with very deep family value that we 100% respect parents who brought us up. And then we definitely have to do whatever we can to make sure our parents retire well and then enjoy relax and then rest of our life. So that's why
taking responsibility though. Yes, taking responsibility and overcoming the opposite. That's another thing. It's self-sacrifice.
Yes,
it was a sacrifice, taking on responsibility and dealing with that. I guess,
can say that.
Can a man shoulder that? You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Shoulder that.
If you can't shoulder it, I'm happy to shoulder together with you. But at least you have to take your part of responsibility.
Part of it. Yeah. Yes. Because I know there are a lot of men out there. I guess there's a lot of people out there that should not marry. Like to me personally, yes, I am dealing with relationships and I want people to marry. But at the same time, I know that marriage is not for everyone. There are some people that should not marry. And I think that if you cannot shoulder responsibility and to be able to look after your family, you should not have one. That's it. You should probably, save both yourself and your potential family a lot of trouble by not marrying and not starting a family. If you cannot do the job or you cannot look after something, you should not have it. I mean, and they apply that standard when you go and adopt pets. Are you capable of looking after the pet before they let you adopt? But no one says anything or no checks and saying, can you look after a family or not? And you go out and have one. Then the implications of your decision is just so much greater than just one pet. But it's not given the same importance, the same gravity. This is a very big decision. It's more like, I think in popular culture, it's more like, oh yeah, you like someone, that's enough. Yeah, get together. Yeah, it's natural. And then that's why I guess you have such a big divorce rate now. Like in the Western world, it's like 50%. I don't know what it is in China now. Do you have any idea?
Not really. I've been away from China for too
So
long.
But the last you heard.
Because I think Chinese people will be more
try to stick together.
Yeah, try to hold the whole family together, especially after you have children. If they can, they'll hold everything together. They'll try their best to hold together until to a point. If they really can't, like for example, domestic violence, and then one partner can really not handle it no more, or one is constantly cheating, or you can't handle it no more.
You can't,
they will
unreasonable to expect you to continue.
Yeah, they'll have to end up. But I think Chinese culture, in my head, it may be different, but we'll have. I think generally the Chinese women have higher tolerance.
Higher tolerance, right? It's just like you've got a responsibility. You made your bed, you lie in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the full responsibility
for my actions. I take responsibility rather than walk away.
Yeah.
So no, again,
I'll face it.
Yeah. No, this is too difficult. I did not sign up for this. This is not why I married you. And then walk away.
No, that's not. At least not me. I'll face it. I'll handle it. I'll deal with that. And then after I try everything, if I still can't handle it, that means it's beyond my ability, then I'll choose to move on. So we have a higher tolerance 100%.
So what does that really mean though? It means if you were to the implications of that, lead on from that, is what it means: do not pick up a Chinese woman's rejects then. That's what I mean. If she has such a high tolerance rate a level, and if she cannot take it, then I guess no one else can. If she has, okay, you shouldn't go there. You shouldn't try it as well.
I don't know whether that's a universal thing or individual thing, but
I'd say generally, look, there's general things that happen most of the time. There's all exceptions to everything.
Yeah, always.
Look, we cannot. There's going to be always exceptions to everything. If we have to accommodate all the exceptions, we cannot say anything really.
100%.
We cannot give any advice because there's always an outlier case. You can't even say men are taller than women or men are physically stronger than women. There's always exceptions. Even though that, you always go. You can, the female basketball team. This gets taller than the average man, but that's exception. So that's when people start getting really silly when they try to negate what you say by pointing out at some case they know from somewhere. Okay, so on that we'll go to a break and we will be right back. And we're back. You're listening to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, and we will be doing an astrology reading for Bella, going into it. But just before we do that, so our listeners know, The Loving Heart is also a sponsor of the show. And they have more than 15 years of serving the community with delicious, healthy vegan food at great value. Inspired by authentic Vietnamese and other famous Asian dishes, you can sit comfortably in the booth with lovely surroundings and enjoy the super filling and delicious, thrilling, great food. Located at 227 Cabramatta Road, which is about 100 metres down from the police station. And perhaps that is because not to go there should be criminal. Now we're back to the reading. Now, Bella, well, what I do is basically what's also called 4 pillars astrology. That way we need, obviously, the date of birth, but however, also the time of birth would also give us a more accurate reading. Mm-hmm. So the 4 pillars that it forms from the information are ones for the year, the month, the day, and the hour. Now, most people are familiar with the year. They're okay because it's announced in the news every year at the start of every lunar year. Lunar New Year, the year of such and such. So this is the year of the rabbit, and next year will be year of the dragon. So everyone's familiar with that, but most people don't know is there's also the month, the month zodiac, the day zodiac, and also hour zodiac. Now the Chinese hour is 2 hours. And no, not one. There's 24 hours in the day, and we split it into the 12 animal signs. So each sign it governs 2 hours.
Yes.
So it's within a 2-hour period. Okay, Bella, just explaining how the chart works. Like I was saying, like you're familiar with the year, your yin fire rabbit. Yeah.
What does fire rabbit mean?
Your fire rabbit. Okay, it's always the element. There's always an element and the zodiac as well. So at the moment, this year, we are water rabbit. Not just rabbit. Yeah, rabbit generally. But the first part of the year, like with obviously, is more governed by the water.
Yeah.
And the second part of the year is more governed by the rabbit.
Rabbit.
So the first part of the year, the rabbit does have some influence, but it's weak. It's weak. And then there's a bit of transition period around the middle.
Right.
Yeah, and then the rabbit is the most strong in the second half of the year, and the water is weaker.
Right.
So what it happens is say someone needs water, okay, they're more likely to get luck from it in the first half of the year rather than the second half of the year when it's the rabbit. And the rabbit is more wood. It's actually pure wood.
Right.
See, and that's how it's always an element and the animal.
So, like, I'm a fire rabbit. That means I'm fire and wood.
Yeah, your fire and wood. Okay, so you actually have quite strong fire because wood is fueling the fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Does that mean I'm going to have a better
So you have
luck?
more output. You have more output. I mean, it means you work more.
Yeah.
You more work more, be more creative.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay. Be creative, and you can produce it. And we find that a lot of people that are creative, that in artists or design people have a lot of output because that's creativeness.
Right. Does that mean like I'm gonna have better luck in 2024? Because I think I read somewhere like 2024 gonna be the year of starting a new circle of 20 years of fire.
Okay, 20 years of fire. Yes and no, not necessarily. That's more as in a feng shui. We're coming into what's called a period 9.
Period 9, yes.
And they last 20 years.
Last 20 years, yes.
So the last time was started in 2004.
Yep.
So obviously it ends this year's 20 years.
Yeah, that's water.
That was water, and that was in the age of child. So we had a lot of baby-faced billionaires come up, very young billionaires.
Yes.
Okay, and so the next period, as you probably heard, is women.
Hopefully.
Okay. Coming to the fore.
Gonna work harder.
Okay, and then you've got your month pillar, which is your yin fire goat. So there again, there's more fire. So you've got quite a lot of fire in your
I'm
chart.
on fire.
So you're a worker, and so is your husband as well. You're both workers.
Yes.
In your chart.
Yes.
Okay, and so the day, you've got yin wood rooster. Yeah, that is a bit of metal there. So what we reference always is what we call a day master, which is going to be your yin wood on your day.
So I'm a wood.
Yeah, yin wood, and so everything's referenced from that. So if we're talking about someone's output, then it's got to be fire.
Fire, yeah.
Fire, because if a wood person's output is fire, okay, wood produces
to
fire,
fuel the fire. Put it higher.
Whereas fire for someone else, if they're not wood, it's not output. It'd be something else.
Right.
Okay. So
Good
it's
to
always
know.
referenced back to that.
Good to know.
Good to know.
So I get heaps of energy.
Okay. And then your hour, okay, it's a yin metal snake. So you've got metal, and you've got the snake is fire, does have some metal in there as well. But like I was saying, the snake and the rooster combined, they like each other, which means your spouse and your child, specifically your daughter, will get along. They like each other.
So my daughter and my partner, my husband, likes each other.
Yeah, will like her. When she grows up a bit, she'll be very young now. They're saying they'll be close.
So, like, she'll be a daddy's girl more than a mommy's girl.
Yeah, she'll be daddy's girl. There you go.
There we go. She's already a daddy's girl, 100%.
Yeah.
I want to know, what does the metal mean for me?
Yeah. The metal, okay, the metal is power element for you. So at the moment, actually power is actually not good for you. Power,
Why is not good for me?
It's not good for you in terms of look. Your favorable elements are fire,
right?
Specifically, fire because your output, and then fire produces earth, which is going to be your money.
Yep.
Someone's money element, and the rooster. The metal. The metal is produced by earth. There's earth, because metal comes from earth.
Yes.
Yeah, but metal also drains earth.
Okay.
Too much, and
I thought the fire gonna melt in the
metal dominates over the metal, over the wood.
Over the wood.
Yeah, because that's power. And for your chart, you don't like it too much at the moment, especially like you have problems when metal periods are. So it's yin metal, yang metal.
Doesn't really matter.
The monkey and the rooster. Rooster is pure metal. And the monkey, mostly metal. Some water, then mostly metal.
So does that mean I mostly will easily have clash with people who born in the year of rooster and a metal and the monkey?
It's specifically rooster because you're a rabbit.
Right.
Okay. Monkey you still have problems with.
Right.
But also if they've either they're people, but specifically the periods, or people with a lot of them. I've seen a chart with like 3 roosters, out of 4. I think, oh my goodness. And then that person had, obviously, as you know, this year is the year of the rabbit, and rooster and rabbit are mortal enemies, so it's a big clash. And I think that person went nuts.
Right.
This year, because it affects every part of their life.
Right.
Their work, their home, the job. The only place it didn't affect was the outside, which people don't see.
Right.
That part didn't clash.
Good to know. I'll try to avoid having another kid in the year of rooster or monkey then.
Specifically that once a clash, and you want your child to get along with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's always a good thing to try to pick a year that's is going to get along with you, so you can have a happy.
What about the what is the best year for me then, like to pick up to have a child to get along with?
Okay, well obviously, what does we look at what does the rabbit get along with?
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you know?
No, really.
Okay. The other 2 are going to be the goat.
The goat.
Okay. The goat. The pig.
The pig. Oh.
Okay. Or the other, we call it secret friend, is the dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loyal, love mummy. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what use of that?
And now for your husband, as you know, he is a tiger. So you do have something in common. You've got tiger gets along with the dog and the horse.
The horse.
So what you and him have in common is the dog.
The dog. Okay.
Okay, so get along with both mummy and daddy.
Right. But by then I'm going to be very old. So we'll have a look.
I know. Sometimes we have to do a compromise. But the goat is coming up.
So goat will goat be good with the husband though?
Goat and...
He's a tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger gonna eat up the goat.
Sometimes you have to be a compromise. Look, what you have to avoid for the tiger is a monkey anyway. That's a clash, but then that's not good for you as well.
Yeah.
So avoid my monkeys. The other thing is there's a harm. It doesn't particularly like the snake. Okay, the snake's coming up. Snake for you, okay, but not with your husband, not so much. They're like
dragons. Definitely not for us.
Dragons not so bad. Dragon not there, but then it makes him want power. Influences him. So it's not necessarily bad, but it's going to kind of change him.
Right. In a bad way.
Well, it depends if you think someone that wants to have status and power, and that is bad. Well, yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. At the moment, he's output like you, but it's not that strong. Yeah, so he can be changed quite easily. Yeah. So that's the part. Yeah, you have to know. So All in all, a pretty good chart. So if you want children, keep that in mind. And I always say to people, like that's a good idea. If you want to go to have a child, you're doing it here. You want the child to get along, be close to you. Okay, so we're going to see whether or not you had your assessment, how that compares to the astrology, if you had it done. All right. Now, your husband, Robert, he himself, I can see, we say he's day master. He is an output type, but he's not a very strong output type. Now, output types are those that are workers. They're creative, and generally giving people. However, next year is the year of the dragon. It's going to break that pattern for him, and then he can become follow power, which is he want to do something different. He'll want more. I guess we're saying. We say power, but he wants some sort of, it wouldn't say dominance either, but he want recognition, that sort of thing, and a standing, and so forth. And looking at your chart, look. Actually, you both have combinations, which means you get along, and it is, I'd say, one of the better matches that someone can pick. So it's above average. Not the most exceptional matches I've seen, pairings I've seen, but it's pretty good, and it's one of the better ones. I've seen some really horrible ones as well. I'm surprised they last that long. And so it's pretty good. You are you're a producer. You're a worker. Okay, you work, as I say, and it's in your chart as well. From what you've described to me, how much study and work you've done, and you have to struggle with that, with the business as well. So you're a worker, and at the moment, but. You like to, well, I wouldn't say you'd like to be in charge, but you end up being more in charge because of circumstance, your situation.
Say it again, sorry.
You end up being more in charge of things because it ends up that way. Not because you want to, but things end up that way. So it causes dominant. You're more, dominant.
Is that because I take more responsibilities and I'll have to look after everything?
Yeah, I think
if
that's
that way, yes.
Yeah, you're more dominant.
Yes, I'll end up looking after everything.
Okay. 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 Next year is going to be a bit more challenging. I mean, this year. I mean, if you don't ask, how are things flowing between you two? Is it like in previous years, or you had more arguments this year?
This year is better.
This year's better?
Yeah, at the very beginning of our partnership, business partnership, we always have disagreement and then this and that. That's normal. And then gradually we, like what I said at the very beginning, we learned how to remove the emotions in doing business. And then we have less argument, less disagreement. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
More smooth.
This year compared to last year?
Yes.
Is it better or
a lot better?
A lot better.
Yes.
In that respect, as in last year was and I can see your spouse. I think I understand why you're very busy, but you're busy because would that be a factor in you having problems making friends, or keeping them, or am I more like don't have time for friends?
Not really have time for making new ones. But I'm trying my best. I'm making great efforts to keep the old ones.
Old ones. It's difficult.
It's very difficult. 100%.
Yeah, there are lots of similarities in your my chart. Yeah. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah. I
can't wait to hear yours.
I understand yours. Yeah, and look, I mean, you're more out though. Things that will change for you after you're 40.
Ooh.
Okay, you'll be more at the moment. You're more out there in the shop, I guess, running the business. After 40, I think you'll be taking a step back and more doing things behind the scenes.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
that's what I really want.
Generally, yes, it is a good pairing. A good pairing. Like if you come to me with this. And prior to getting married, I say, there's no big obstacles. Like I say, not the best combo you can have, but no big obstacles.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, so you did a good assessment. As I say, besides the relationship, earlier this year as compared to first half of this year as compared to second half of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which one was more difficult?
As in which
work-wise or life-wise? I mean, not necessarily relationship-wise.
First half, you mean
half,
starting from January to June 2023? Second half,
so
July.
More like August, because it shifts because the lunar year doesn't start till like end of January. Yeah. It's more up to like August. Yeah.
It's quite the same because I was away for 3 months and then maybe because for the first half, like we get my mother's help because my mother was here to help look after our baby so that I can 100% focus on the business.
Yeah.
So, and then we travel back to China so that make sure my mom back to China safe and then spend a time with family after, haven't been back home for 4 years since COVID and then come back and focus on the business again. The only worry is my mom and daughter because the daughter is still young and I start sending her to childcare. So for me, first half and second half quite similar. Maybe but thanks to my mother's help in the first half. So
otherwise,
a lot easier than second half.
Yeah, because whenever there is, like I'm saying, is middle periods are difficult for you. Generally difficult for you. It was okay because it was water. It's a water rabbit year.
Yeah.
But during the metal times, that would have been first half of 2020, first half of 2021. Those periods I think that weren't too good. And you have to get watch out for years of the rooster and monkey. They're metal signs.
The metal signs as well. Mm-hmm.
So not too good with metal because they kind of suppress you, and so to speak. So and all that and from that also in terms of colors. So the metal colors are white. Metal colors as well. So that means silver and gold, but also grey. That would have to be light grey, so you generally stay away from those colours, those metal. But dark grey, like charcoal, that's basically almost black, and then there's a watercolour, so that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I love white though.
But you've had a looking at your chart, even from what you've told me, you've had a very busy and hard life in your up till now.
Right.
Yeah, very busy though it's almost over all that period because you've had a lot of metal in your first half of your life, and up till you started that period when you were at 21, and up to 21 was a metal period as well, and from 31 you went into another metal period.
How many metal periods have I been through?
Because you had to go through the monkey and the rooster with metal, and then you had yin metal, yang metal, yin metal, as well for first half of it. But then after that, that's why you've just gone into a period when it's been easier for you.
So it's gonna be easy for Emma?
Well, your bad luck cycles are almost over. All the struggle that you had to go through. So
that's amazing.
So your 40s will be a lot easier for you.
So onwards.
Yeah, and then you can sit back, like I said, like we more take doing more the background.
Amazing.
The more the background role. I mean, you might be able to, if this turns out to be very lucky, you might be able to just be the homemaker. Like as simple as a homemaker.
That's what I always believe. Like hard work paid off. At the very beginning, you have to work hard.
That's a homemaker. But can you really be a homemaker? Stay at home and be a homemaker.
You mean stay home doing nothing?
Well, cook, clean, look after
I can't.
The child.
I can't really. I have to be working. I might not be a workaholic, but I enjoy working. I enjoy contribute to the community, even if I'm not working for the restaurant or for other business. But I'll just do stuff, and then I'll do volunteer, and then I'll learn stuff, and then I'll set up a new stuff. I'll learn new skills. That's what I'm gonna do.
So at least you know, if you're at home, I guess doing the books instead of standing in the restaurant. Oh God, yeah.
Non-stop, like even like after birthing, when I was still in the hospital, I started doing the paperwork. So I just can't stop. No one pushed me to work, and I just love do whatever I have to do.
Yeah,
can't stop. Maybe that's me.
Okay. Overall, it is quite good. You shouldn't have many problems. The only thing I was you passed that point. Past that point, and for your husband, he may get a bit more difficult next year. Because next year is a dragon year. Besides, you know, he might decide or feel like he wants more recognition and so forth, because he becomes follow power. He'll want power. Besides that, he's house of spouse. Oh yes, one thing, you and his mum. Any issues there? Yeah.
We used to have this different opinions on business, but now it's all good.
Well, now that she's actually stepped back and
step back more. So
got out of your way, so to speak.
It's just like new style of or different concept, like how you manage a business.
Yeah.
But now, like, since mom's like more step back, and but she's still there to support us. Thank her. And when it comes to the whole operation, so she's not giving different opinions. So it's more smooth for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because in his chart, you know, there's his spouse palace and his spouse of his parents, namely his mother. There's always a bit of conflict, so it doesn't matter who he marries. His mum would still find some issue. Okay, so I wouldn't take it personally. It's his chart. So if it's not you, it's someone else that you have some issue with. But let's have a look. And yeah, you shouldn't have any major clashes coming up. See, this is the thing is besides from the pillars, we look at how they interact in their life cycles, how it interacts here. And sometimes though that comes up with a clash in the house of spouse. Now he's a dog. He's got dog in his house of spouse. Now the clash with the dog, as you know, is the dragon, and that comes up next year. Coming pretty soon. So in that respect, you have to be you have to consider that under this clash. Well, it's more like he's under the clash, so you have to, and he has to realize he'll snap out of it after a year.
So you may lose temper easily.
Yeah. Just be gentle with each other.
Yeah.
And you have to keep reminding him, your house of spouse has been clashed this year. Okay.
Ah, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But he won't get the dragon until he's 60. So then you face every 12 years, there'll still be that dragon that comes around. But when he comes around to look, normally anything that's 1 year, we can handle it. Okay, what's harder is when it becomes, say, when you come into when the clash happens, it comes back. And see, the dragons happens that these pillars represent 10 years. The top part 5, the next part 5. Though there is a bit, their influence grays out a bit. And so what will happen, the dragon, look, most people can handle it for a year, but if you're talking about 5 to 7 years of this constant irritation and niggling issues, then it's hard. And that's how a lot of couples break up. Because it's like 1 year, people can bite their tongue.
Yep.
And I'll say, knowing that, he'll snap out of it soon. But not if you're going for 5 to 7 years. That's asking a bit much. And that's also a reason why you hear of couples that have been married, say, 30 years, and then all of a sudden you hear a divorce coming. What? They were so good. Why suddenly they divorce? And for what reason? And it's normally because they come across one of these pillars. They go all along, it's great, and then they come through and face one of these pillars. You can't anymore, and then they break up. So what we normally like to do is we either forewarn or if you meet after that clash period, then it's plain sailing. And on that, we'll take a break. And welcome back. You're listening to 2GLF 89.3 FM, the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly. And we are reading the astrological chart and doing the reading for Bella, who is in our studio. Okay, Bella, just on the break, you asked me what they all mean. And I'm sorry, I forgot to explain because a lot of people are not familiar with the astrological terms. So basically, as he's saying, this is generating your chart. What it is, it's a 4 pillars, what we call 4 pillars. That represents the year, the month, the day, and then your hour as well. So it's breaking into 2. We have the element, and then what you're familiar with, a lot of people, is the zodiac sign.
Yep.
Okay, like this year, even though it's the year of the rabbit, it is a water
rabbit. Yep.
Rabbit. Yeah, the people know that. And so the year sign, if someone's born this year, it'll be the first pillar would be water rabbit as the year sign. And then depending on which month, it will be whatever it is, and the day, and then the hour. Like, okay, most people, well, everyone would know what their date of birth is, but not everyone knows what their time of birth is, which is a bit unfortunate because that is the 4th pillar. Now, we can still do the reading without it, but it will be more accurate with the time of birth because sometimes it doesn't change the reading, but sometimes it does. Okay, and those pillars represent different things. Now, the year will represent the outside and your interactions. The month one would represent the above your father, below your mum or sisters, and so forth, and also work, your career and work. And the day, that would be you on top, and the bottom is your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is children. As a spouse. So the day and the time at the inside, the rest is generally the outside. Okay, and how it interacts with what we call life cycles or luck cycles. They're 10-year periods, and it's how your chart, your personal chart, your life chart interacts with them as to how your life would go.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so, and this is one very different thing. In Western astrology, they don't take account of gender or sex. It has to be sex at birth. You cannot change it. Yeah, because most likely, once you're born there, then that's when you're stamped. And this is very important because you say fraternal twins, boy and a girl that are twins, they would have the same chart.
Mm-hmm.
In Western astrology, they'll have exactly the same chart. In Taoist astrology, yes, they'll have the same chart up here in terms of their life chart, but the flow of this luck, one would go this way and one would go the other way.
Will
so
be
they'll
different.
have a different life. So because of their different sex, different gender.
Different gender.
For example, they might go, okay, rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, and then dragon, which is the normal sequence.
Yep.
Theirs might start with dragon, rabbit,
tiger,
tiger,
ox, and rat.
It goes the other way. So if they're different sexes, they're going to have a different life experience. One might end up rich, and one might end up poor, even though they have the same chart.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we mean by when we say spouse palace, work palace, and child palace.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they interact. And then so with Robert in particular, his spouse palace is dog. Okay, his mum there represented by the rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dog and
rooster always fight.
The dog is friends with the rabbit. Now the rabbit, as you know, is enemies with the rooster.
Yes.
So because of that, the dog's not that friendly with the rooster either. The enemy of my best friend. so to speak. That's saying. So that's why there's always going to be some issues between the mother and the spouse.
Right.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
Okay. So once you know that, then you kind of like, you don't blame her so much. It's not you. Then you can't say, you can't take it personally. It's not you.
Yeah,
it's her. It's her. Or more directly, it's him. It's his fault.
That's interesting.
Okay. So it's things like that, and generally, yeah. If you're okay, yeah, women that have a lot of egg output, they generally can have children, because what's output? It's produce. Women produce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how many apples do I have?
You're capable of producing. Obviously, yeah, you had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful angel.
Yeah. So angel, and obviously, yeah, you can. Yeah, 1, 2.
How many baby do I have?
Okay, opportunities.
Okay,
So
opportunities.
that come. Yeah, but you've got, like a saying, because your wood day master would produce this fire. So if you have fire, then you can have children. Okay,
So
some women
what does that mean?
Yeah, you're capable. You can have children. Because some
Right.
women that have fertility issues,
Right.
either they don't have output factor,
All
or
right.
they clash with their children palace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a clash there, and so, or if they do have children, they never get along with their kids.
Oh, then I heard about the
Yeah.
stories
And
from
it's
some
very
people.
hard. Yeah.
That's very hard. Yeah, they always fight with their children. Yeah.
Yeah, and for
I
some
heard
women,
about that.
Yeah, and some women look for a woman. We also, how we read it, it's also very based on elements. If a woman has power element, like a woman's power is her husband. Forget political correctness, all that sort of thing. It doesn't work. If you take into account, we cannot do astrology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a woman's power is her husband. A woman gains standing in society traditionally through her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it through a lot of, these billionaires, and their wives have become famous and all that because she's married to him. Yeah, true. Once they're divorced, it's kind of like the respect and all that understanding that she once has isn't quite there.
Mm.
Like, I didn't say Jeff Bezos is divorced now, his wife, like, she's got loads of money, but she's kind of like faded in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he's still out there. And if she was still with him, then she would still have all that recognition and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we go if a woman in her chart has power, then she can get married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very difficult with women without the power element. They can very hard for them to marry. They could be gorgeous, but for some reason or another, other opportunities don't come up, or the ones that do are no hopers, or for some reason she can't.
Because they don't have
That power element. So it's very difficult.
Good to know.
Then she'll have to rely on whether or not she will get married. But if she then meets up with a power element in the luck cycle, and then she'll have that chance in that time. So it's not a no hope situation. It's that it'll be more difficult, and it's only certain times that you can.
Good to know.
Yeah, okay. But for a man, well, what we look at is the money element. Because you normally, look, a man's wife is his money.
100%. That's what we all believe.
Yeah. And also people that don't believe that, remember though, whenever you have money, generally you have women too. When you have money. Yeah. So let's say you have to forget and leave political correctness behind. So the same sort of thing. If a man has earth element in his chart, then he can get married rather easily. If not, he'll have to wait until he meets it in his luck cycle that he comes across. And those are the opportunities that he has to grab it, realize it, and grab it there. Just same with both. I guess when you come to periods that look from looking at your chart, there's difficult periods and there are not difficult periods. People think that they create their own luck. It doesn't affect you if they're told beforehand. Then they subconsciously are going to fulfill it, the prophecy, so to speak.
As you mentioned, in 2024 going to be a hard year for us as as a couple. So do you have any like recommendations based on the chart? And then can you also indicate which year will be the better year?
Better year. Okay. Look, generally, your charts together are pretty good. They're flowing correctly. Regularly, we want the man to be the yang and the woman to be the yin.
Amazing.
Okay, and then that flows much better than the woman being the yang, the yang, and then the man being being the yin. Okay, it's just like we prefer men being taller than women. For some reason, biologically, we all prefer that. Okay, that sort of thing. So now, look, when there's a clash comes up, okay, normally one of the remedies of how we deal with it is we kind of like sleep under separate roofs. Okay, just to kind of trick it and so forth, so the clash doesn't happen, okay, because you're separated, you're no longer not together, but just for that sake. Like, doesn't mean you can't be affectionate or meet together during the day, whatever. Just at night time when you go to sleep, okay, it's under a separate roof. Yeah, so it tricks it. So if you've got a granny flat or something, you can stick it in.
Oh, that's even better. You can have a better sleep quality.
Then that's guaranteed to work. Yeah, that works. I've seen it work all the time.
That's
almost all the time. And then you can move back in after the year.
Oh, so just last 1 year.
That's not bad. That's just 1 year.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah,
because you mentioned some relationship gonna clash for 7 years.
Because that's because it's only 1 year. Most people can deal with it. But when you have that clash, when it's a luck cycle,
how can I know how many years of clash I'm gonna have?
And no, you can see it yourself.
All
like in their 10-year cycles, and so most of it, as I said, the animal sign takes up like 5 to 7 years of influence for solid 5 years, and 7, and then another 2 of a weaker.
Right.
And so,
but what about mine based on my chart?
Then that's difficult for most people. You can't live separately for 5 to 7 years
100%.
like that, and so most people can't.
Yeah. How can I tell from this chart that the next year gonna be difficult for us, please?
Next year?
Yeah.
Like, not especially difficult for you, but it's just that clashing on the spouse.
Right.
Or the other thing is, if you can do it, bite your tongue. No matter what he says, yes dear, yes dear, yes dear. Okay, yes dear. And he's got to remember, you got to remind him, honey, it's a clash year. Yeah. Okay, so I won't take it. I'm angry. I'm not happy with what you said. But I'm not gonna make an issue out of it, because I know this is temporary. This is not really you. Okay.
Good to know.
Until the year's out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That person that had 3 roosters clashing. So she had clashing in all areas, including spouse, but everything. So she basically went nuts. And so they're having great difficulty with that, but the year's almost over for them.
So everything back to normal.
So then we'll get back to however, not so good, because next year, because he's actually has a dog in his spouse palace, so next year is going to be clashing his house of spouse.
Right.
So then
that's quite interesting.
So then he's
like, especially in a household, if you have a lot of siblings and a different zodiac born in different years, and your siblings have partners like from different years zodiac, that means there's gonna be a lot of overlap crashings. Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot more troublesome,
but they're not your spouse. So it doesn't affect.
Is it like they're gonna be affected because they're part of the family members?
Okay. If it depending where they fall in, so then they're not going to be not a spouse, so it doesn't matter. If that clash happens on the spouse palace, and it doesn't matter.
Good to know.
They're not they're not your spouse.
Yeah, and also again another question. You mentioned like starting from 36, which is like coming soon, are gonna be like a lot smoother than the years like. So what do you mean by this? And then like which industry you reckon are gonna shine?
Yeah, shine. Well, I can't say you mean generally or just for you?
Just for me.
For you.
Yeah. Okay. Based on my chart reading.
Yeah, you do like fire. So actually, you are in a good industry because cooking with the fire.
Yeah, in the right industry.
Yeah, in the right industry. So
That's
usually
great.
any fire elements or electronics,
Yeah.
we deem that as fire anything. What is it? Yeah, generally cooking.
So I'm in the right industry.
You're
That's
in the right
good.
industry.
That
Yeah.
means like based on the chart, I
Yeah.
will not necessarily have to work as hard as before. I'll probably
no,
chill
you
out
won't
a
have
little
to
bit
work
more.
as hard
That's
as
good.
before. It was really
Good to
making
know.
you work hard.
Good to know.
Yeah, you have a smoother, easier life. I shouldn't say smoother. I should say easier life.
Easier.
Easier life.
That's better.
Yeah,
At least
because
keep the hope
more
up.
settled.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so you can come okay and say, darling, yeah, when the new year comes, I know it's pleasant, but when you start picking arguments with me, I'm going to remind you. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that. I say, honey, no worries. This year it's all you.
It's all
I
you.
just keep watching. I'll keep my mouth shut only
mouth
because okay, that's your year.
That's it. That's your year.
No worries.
So
Yeah.
it can be hard, but sometimes you first feel like, I want to answer back
Yeah.
to him,
No worries.
then
I'll just go to my prayer room to do my meditation.
and then
Yeah.
so it doesn't escalate. So
That's gonna help a lot.
but yeah, you and him are just flow very, very well, and so the only things you have to look out for are the clashes. And then
Only 1 year.
Yeah, and those are those difficult years.
Do you have any advice on my husband then?
Okay, your husband, I didn't. He wasn't the primary person I was looking at, but as I was saying, yes, he's done. He's in the racing industry. I mean, fire is good for him as well. Though not as much as it is for you. It doesn't sink as well for him. And I think he didn't start with fire. He's doing something else. He said he was an engineer.
Yes.
Okay.
He was in engineering.
Okay. He was in engineering. I just keep his head down next year. That's more with him. Yeah, like I say, you were the primary person I was reading for. Not
No worries.
and the relationship.
I'll probably bring him on for next show.
I think he's a man of few words. I'm not sure how well he'll do.
Maybe more meditation for
More
him.
meditation for him. Okay.
Good to know.
There is one big thing that I think I've talked about it on the show before, and particularly on my own YouTube channel. That's gotten quite a bit of flack for it as well. People have always complained, especially other men, about Chinese women, how they're so money obsessed.
Really?
And it's time for a break, but I'll leave the listeners hanging on that. We'll be right back and address that big issue. Okay? And we're back. It's 2GLF 89.3 FM. You are listening to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly. And we are talking about relationships. And we have Bella in the studio. And we're just before the break, we were talking about the subject of Chinese women being complained about being money obsessed. Bella, you're not money obsessed, are you?
No way.
No way?
No.
Yeah. So where do you think that view came from, that they're complaining about? Obviously it's coming from somewhere.
Well, first of all, I didn't hear too much complaint. Maybe I'm not here long enough, only 10 years.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a misunderstanding about how you see money. So maybe, and also like when we talk like IQ, like the intelligence, right?
Yeah.
And we also have EQ, the emotional, like which is very important when especially you deal with different people in workforce, in your real life. And now we have another Q, that's MQ, money.
Money quoting, yeah. Okay.
Yes. Like that's why it's like for us, I think it's quite normal because you have to know what is money and then how you're going to make money and how you're going to manage money instead of working to make money, and how you be able to let money work for you. So this is something I think I'm teaching my child already, my daughter, because sometimes if she's not in childcare, I'll bring her over to the restaurant and then she'll help with the till. I'll help her. I'll teach her how to grab the money and how to give the change back to the customers.
She can't work out how much change
she doesn't know, of course, but she knows, she has a sense of money already.
Yeah. Okay.
So she knows. I say, hey, keep the money. Then she'll hold the money. And then, for example, if I put her on a pram and I go to the shopping center and buy stuff, and she will always would like to drag my card or money, I'll say, okay, keep it and do not drop it until mommy use it. She'll just literally keep it. And then same thing in the restaurant, I say, hey, I say hi, greetings. She'll be hi. And then can you just give the change to the auntie? And then she'll just pass on the money and hand over the money to the customer. Although she does not have a sense of number yet, like how much change to work out, at least she knows this is money, and this is like, people pay for the food they eat in the restaurant, and then how much change like she give it back. So she gets starting, I'm helping her to build such sense of money. So it's not dirty at all. It's normal. It's something you rely on so that you have food and put the food on the table to feed your family. And also, like when we or everyone in a better position, we're able to help the other people, donation. So I don't know. It's not called obsessed. I don't think it's supposed. It is called upset. It's more like how you manage it. Yeah. Like also in our culture, is like if in this family, the mother holding the money, and then the family is like more secured. So it's not saying the father holding the money is not good, but at least the mother's holding the money. It's safe, and everyone like feel safe.
So it's the woman's role managing the money.
Mostly like in the household, but some household their father manage as well, so you can't just say exactly,
but generally I guess they say the man brings in the money, the woman manages it,
hold it
if she doesn't have to work,
hold it
if she didn't also have to go out to work.
That's the traditional way.
So the women then are all basically financially literate, then can manage money.
Most of the girls now, like they all have a degree, they know how to manage it. But that's why I always find it very important to build up at least such a sense of money or like finance for the children. Like later, gradually, I'm probably going to help her set up her account as well. So she'll start working for me or for the other people starting to have pocket money. So start running, so she'll know it's not easy to make money in that real world. And then she should be grateful of what her parents have been able to provide for her. And then gradually she'll build up different sense and values as well. So later on, she'll know she's very independent and then strong enough financially as well, so that her whole life won't be twisted.
Okay, so it's basically educating them when they're young, and I find that a lot of parents don't. At least in the West world, they don't teach you. It's like money is just some dirty word. No one wants to talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, in a marriage, they never, married, got divorced because of money. How's that terrible? And then the children, why make your children money obsessed against it? They don't understand that that's very important, because that's a life skill. They need money to get through life.
I still remember when I was really little, and then my grandma, I don't know whether it's here or not, but in China, like back then, like 90s, like my grandma would put the changes in a little handcraft and then wrapped it up. And then every time, if I want to like ice block, my grandma would just unfold her handcraft, like give me $5 or and then starting from there, and then she like my grandma teaching me, okay, this is how you're gonna keep the money and how you're gonna deal with the money. So for us, it's quite normal.
To learn about money. I guess
how to manage
it. Reality, the case is you can't get through life without money, and people don't want to admit it, but money does give you influence in life, and also some status, and people actually kind of react to you even really unconsciously. Shows the person with money more respect.
Well,
so generally they do, you know, more in awe of the person, and we more kind of show respect to the person, and they do it unconsciously, don't they?
Well, it really depends as well. But in Buddhism, we have 3 different ways of donation. One is money. So we call it financially donate, helping people.
Yeah.
2 is preaching, like you teaching the Buddhism and let them know the what is the right thing to do. We do what is the right thing to do instead of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like especially when people in hardships, and then you help people out. So this is the second donation. The third donation is you help people through all the way, not even hardships, but good times, to lead them to a direction. So that's why, like, either way, so for us, money is not a dirty word, and money is not related to obsessed or not. That's the first time I heard about it. So it's quite normal to talk about it, and it's even better to put everything on table, talk about it before you walk into a serious relationship. Then you mistrust each other. You thought they want to grab something from you, and then issues happen later on because you try to avoid it at the very beginning. But come on, things will always happen. So I think it's better just face everything. Up front.
More like money obsessed, but they complain. They just talk about money, and I guess I get a lot of people. They just want to have fun. Why can't the person be fun? That's all fine and well, but I guess there's a bit of denial that reality that money is important, and I guess they don't really want to people face reality, and it's very, I guess, Chinese culture very practical, very no nonsense.
It is practical in that way, 100%. Yeah. And also, this is something you need, like to buy your bread.
Yeah. Buy your bread, and no matter what people say, money gives you more options and freedom. And when people are doing well, they're more happier. There are less arguments around.
There are some, I heard about that as well.
Yeah, generally, look, if you know. If your business doing well, you're happy.
And then you can help more people. Yes,
and
give out more, giving more as well. 100%.
Yeah, but if you're under financial stress, I think that's the worst thing. I think a lot of people at the moment under financial stress.
It's hard.
It's hard to be happy when you're under financial stress.
Yes, like I've been through that. It's very stressful. It's hard.
It's hard, and you're not fun to be around. I guess when a couple under financial stress, they tend to argue more. It's very easy to argue. Arguments happen more easy, and I guess being more realistic. And I guess it's a cultural thing that Chinese culture recognize and really admit. It's necessary in life. Okay, you have to deal with it. You need it for options for resources to feed yourself, to provide a comfortable life for yourself, so you can have a happier life. No, it's not the only thing that can make you happy, but it helps a lot.
100%. Yeah.
So
don't be money hungry.
Yeah.
Because money not everything.
It's not everything.
But in the meantime, we have to see it in a correct way, and then build up correct attitude towards it, because we need it every day.
Yeah, and I guess because, well, I get the complaint about Chinese women talking about money all the time is actually because that's our job, by and large, managing the money.
Yeah,
and so
saving for the raining days. I think that's not only for Chinese culture. I've been talking to many sisters who are really good at managing their finance, like family finance or company finance. They all agree on it. So saving for the raining days, but in the meantime, wisely arrange the spending of the money, and then don't put the eggs in the one basket. But yes, so nothing wrong with that.
yeah. It's just that, but by and large, I guess if that's your role, if that's your job, for anything, then you tend to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you're in charge of money, I'm going, what do? You talk about money. That's your job.
Yeah, it's nothing uncomfortable.
If someone does graphic designing, they're going to talk about this design, that design.
Yeah, 100%.
If someone talk about I don't know, my husband did engineering. He talked about engineering for a while.
Yeah.
And then you listen, but you don't really understand, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess the people didn't understand where that come from, because well, that's a job we're given, and and actually you should be thankful that our partner is clued in about money.
And then in the meantime, you have to be transparent as well, so that like, okay, you're good at managing it, but in the meantime, you're transparent to your partner, and then which is trustworthy, so that gradually you build up a very strong relationship.
Okay, with the partner,
Yep.
I guess when things do well, and if you're doing that job well, and then your partner trusts you to do that job, especially if you bring up results. And you know, I've watched a couple of documentaries and YouTube videos. In particular, I saw one where African men have gone to China to do business, and some of them actually marry Chinese women. So they wouldn't be your average African man, because they're going overseas doing business. Okay, and one guy and a Chinese girl, her name was Cindy, and her parents disowned her because she was marrying a black guy. She married a black man. He had a baby, and he said, he had to do the right thing by her because she gave up her family for him. But though he did acknowledge that she was also doing the business, and he said, look, if you gave $100,000 to an African woman, it'll be gone. Give $100,000 to a Chinese woman, she'll turn it into $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be quite confident.
Confident, but he was saying that. He was saying that was from someone outside, not even a Westerner. And come in and say that. So I guess it's that quality is an asset which not many is, and it should be a desirable asset, but not many people and not many other men realize that.
Yeah.
Unless they actually understand it.
Yeah, it really depends, because I know some men like they'll prefer some women just stay home, be housewives, so that they don't need their partner to be financially skilled or career driven, which is totally fine, because everyone's different. So, but in the meantime, I don't think it's fair to judge typical like Chinese women who are money obsessed. So that's quite unfair.
Yeah.
So to just like get a stereotype on it.
So how did you find the reading, Hussein? Revelations.
Yeah, that's amazing. At least it shows like I've been working really hard in my past 30 years.
It wasn't unfortunately it was in there, like it explains it. Yeah, like I said, some people would think, if you do a reading, then you unconsciously you start following it, but here I'm telling you what happened before. And it's still correct.
Yeah, it's good to know. Starting from a few years later, are gonna be a lot relaxing,
a lot more relaxed. Have the pressure off you.
Hopefully,
then you can be at home. Do the background role and be at home more. Well, in terms of literally at home, but they're saying the more background. The roles that doing the background stuff.
Yeah, less intense work maybe.
Less intense work. Less being the front man. Yeah. So, and I think on that.
Perfect.
Yep. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
it's a great pleasure.
I hope that the reading has been it's taken good stuff away from the reading, and thank you so much for all that. For the information you provided to our listeners. Thank you so much. And thank you all to our listeners. This is the end of the show, and we'll be back same time next week again. So see you then. Bye.